Hey guys and gals, and welcome back to my playthrough of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Now, as we left off, oh man, I defeated Uluran the Cruel. Well, yeah, I defeated Uluran the Cruel.
I always have a backup plan.
Are you still making these demon engines? Really? Okay, whatever. I defeated Uluran the Cruel. I defeated the Edge of Daybreak. So I believe I'm at the end of this chapter right now.
Keep your wits about you.
Oh yeah, I found out that the Space Wolves has been massacring Mechanicus personnel. So yeah. And yeah, not much actually. Okay, scars wise I don't really care. So yeah, let's go back to my ship. So we meet again, Ulfar Thunderlong. Thorvald gives Ulfar a stern nod, then turns his steely gaze on you. Live long, Rogue Trader. Business has brought us to your Drakkar. The trace of Hellbrand's encounter with Ulfar's rock-hard forehead are still fresh on his face. The young wolf rested his hand on his axe. Greetings, brothers. What brought you here? Ulfar returns Thorvald look with an equally fierce glare. For some reason, he has forgotten his magnificent armor today and stands on the bridge clad in little more than the physical perfection inherited to the Angel of the Emperor. Talk about a way to, like, show dominance. He's just basically showed up butt naked. Well, not really butt naked, but still close to butt naked. Live long, comrades. Fenris Hjorda, we thank you for your hospitality and kind words, brave Scarl. Thorvald's face breaks into a wide grin, his affected severity vanishing from his face. He rumbles solemnly. Brother Ulfar, you swore that you would stand for the honor of your pack. The baleful how? Did you descend to Euphrates too with your brothers? Did you fight? That world my boots did tread. In fallen halls my victory cries I roared. The days the Allfather asked for a reckoning of my deeds, I will not be ashamed to tell of the seas of Euphrates. Who will bear witness to the truth of this wolf's words? I will bear witness. We know you have a sting. We have seen you in battle. We believe you. Show us the scars, Brother Ulfar, and we may see the mark of your deeds in the flesh. I did not acquire my scars to show them off, Brother Thorvald. Show the scars, brother. Show the scars. Thorvald's cry is echoed by the other wolves, who bangs their fists on their armor in time with the words. The ship begins to vibrate. Wow. Yeah, let's do this. Ulfar's decision to appear at this meeting without his armor suddenly makes sense. You are watching a ritual, and Ulfar's show of modesty is merely a part of the performance. Look, if it's a Fenrisian thing, let's join the chorus. Ulfar turns with ostentatious reluctance to let the light fall on the fresh mark he received on Euphrates too. You have no idea he had suffered such deep and grievous wounds. The crowd erupted in roars of approval. Thorvald raises his voice to shout over his brothers. Did you take the glorious trophy in that battle as a token of your valor? Ulfar removes the horn he wrenched from the Hellbrutes from his belt, and you notice that it's already carved with Fenrisian runes. The wolf proudly shows the trophy to his comrades, causing another explosion of cheers. Wait, what? Singer of fearsome sagas. Proudly thunders the baleful howl. Praise the Allfather for sending us such formidable and valiant brothers. Thorvald makes a gesture, and Hellbrand removes a magnificent axe from his belt, presenting it to Ulfar with a deferential bow. Except from the Stormbiters, they give in honor of the battle that was fought shoulder to shoulder. Okay, it's a one-handed one, so it's good. Axe has a special attack that inflicts bleeding. Ooh. Okay. Okay, it will be good to, like, tell... So is the whole thing done now? Is the ritual done? Can we just skip to the good part? So, well, now, will you tell Ulfar where to look for his brothers? The wolf hands you a data slate. The coordinates displayed on it are a monstrous distance from the inhabited worlds of the expanse. I will not stand in Ulfar's way if he chooses to go searching, but, brother, you have proven the glory of your pack. Is it not time to sever this weird threat? With respect, I once again extend my offer to join the Stormbiters. The pack's plasteel marks are resting in Thorvald's outstretched hand. Forgive me, brother, but I must decline your offer. Though my heart's filled with joy at the thought of fighting alongside you, Ulfar draws a knife adorned with scarlet runes and slices his palm. I, Ulfar Thunderlong, swore before the Black Mane and by the blood of Fenris that I will not cease to seek my pack until my own eyes behold them, alive or dead. I understand, brother. Thorvald sighs with regret. May Black Mane runes run beside your path. Fortify yourself. Stoke your rage. I see that your heart is darker than the waters of the world sea, so I ask you, take care that you do not join those of whom we must not speak. So that's it? You're all best friends now? Of course, Rogue Trader. Ulfar is our glorious brother, and any one of us would gladly die for him. Do not seek to understand wolves. Only one born on Fenris can understand the nature of our friendship and Minty. And the Stormbiters are my brothers. It has been an honor to hunt with you all. Ulfar, give us a look at your new axe. Thorvald grins with pride as he looks upon the magnificent weapon. Our rune priest tempered it in the blood of the despicable war-bearers who fell on Euphrates II. The blade is enameled with bone meal from the tooth of a Fenrisian kraken, and inscribed on it are the names of all the brothers of the baleful Howl Pack. You know that a name inscribed on a Fenrisian weapon can mean different things, whether glorification of past heroes or commemoration of the fallen. Ulfar runs his finger over the symbols, lingering first on one name, then another, and you are no expert in Fenrisian runes, but you can make out those two. Arnulf, and Skjaldi. Thank you for this gift worthy of Varagir, Ironhide. Ulfar tests the weight of his new weapon, and his face bears the satisfied expression seen only on the faces of true warriors who have found their perfect weapon for their hand. Of whom you may not speak? Let's try this. Halbrand clears his throat and opens his mouth to reply, but he catches the sharp glances of Ulfar and Thorvald and swiftly changes his mind. You do not need to know that knowledge, Akbatir. There are paths in the forest that only wolves ought to tread. Ulfar, I see you have decorated your trophy from Euphrates II. With something of a flourish, Ulfar shows you the angular yet graceful script of runes that wind down and around the gleaming horn. When I return to Fenris, I will drink Mjord from this while singing the saga of my march into the Coronic Expanse. So what now? Well, we should probably return to our Drakkar. You sense a question mark on the end of Thorvald's statement. Ulfar's face becomes serious, and he gives you a significant look. I can hardly let the glorious wolves of Fenris leave without first treating them to a fine feast. The wolves burst into shouts of approval, and someone with a gravelly voice started singing a merry song, no doubt one about massacres and glorious deaths on the battlefield. The kitchen servants here are certainly no match for those serving in the great halls of Fenris, but the master of this Drakkar are not lacking in hospitality or generosity. The small group of space wolves is enough to fill your entire magnificent ship with clamor, shouts, and other portents of the coming feast. A formidable feast in which eating, drinking, and singing will be done the way wolves do all things, with their last grasp, okay? Okay. It's good to know that I honored the Fenrisians.
My dear friend, today you have a particularly bright glow. Cold embers in Ulfar's soul absorbed the dismal grey, leaving only charcoal splotches. They are straining to break out. They smudge his hues, and the tarnished gold no longer shines as brightly.
Okay.
I have enjoyed.
So far.
Let us raise our cups et vater, in honor of deeds accomplished and in expectation of those yet to come.
Let's do this. If you are willing to talk about yourself now, I'm listening.
It is wise to hide one's past from a stranger, but shameful to hide it from a friend. Ask away.
How do you become an Astartes?
I was a seafarer. Every spring we would go out onto the world sea and slay many armed krakens and ravenous sea drakes. And then the season of fire would come, and we would dock on Asserheim to battle for our clan's right to inhabit that land. I was young, but already fierce, and facing down foes twice my size. The chooser of the valiant, who had watched the fateful battle from the cliffs, deemed me worthy and took me to the Fang for healing. My clan was proud.
Yeah, so, as you can tell from this, the Space Wolves lean very heavily on Viking tradition. And, well, the thing about Astartes is, when they choose their aspirants, the next generation of Astartes, they usually choose them young, like around 7 to 12 young. For the Space Wolf, they choose them very late in, in that stages. Usually in the stages where other chapters will not do it because of the high attrition rate. But the Space Wolf did it. So the Space Wolf aspirants usually around 18 to 20 years old. Yeah, around those times.
I spent years in training before I passed through the dreaded gate of Mordkai, bowed on the runestones before both his heads, and walked into the Valley of Dreams. As for what I saw there, do not ask me. That is between me and the Death Wolf. The rune priest scoured my soul, but found it untouched by corruption. I returned, and I partook of the cup of Wolfen. The Canis Helix entered my blood, and the agony of transformation changed my body to resemble that of a beast, and my mind was drowned in the dark depths of bloodlust. My return from the dark was long and cost me greatly. When I stood in the hall of the Fang once more, the rune priests imbued my body with the remaining gene seed and implanted the necessary organs. But those trials were nothing compared to what I had already endured.
So what happened after your trial?
When I overcame the darkness of Wolfen in my soul, I set out for the Fang. Every neophyte must undergo a hunt during this journey. One might fight a fearsome wolf, another a sly snow worm. I crossed paths with a doppelgrendel, a cunning and rancorous spirit.
Doppelgrendel? Well, I know doppel is supposed to be like something like double in German, but I don't know what grendel means. Now, usually you hear that as a name.
For 5 days and nights did we bring our wits and wrath to bear in battle. The spirit changed its guise, but in the end, I gouged out its eyes. Fleeing, it hissed a curse. Nowhere would I find an honorable death, vowed the creature. My saga came to an abrupt and inglorious end, like a noble banner moldering and fraying at the edge. When I made my return to the Fang, clutching that crushed eye, the rune priest looked at me, and his face grew grim. But he said not a word, save to confirm my victory.
Do you believe the creature's curse holds any power? Why not spin it?
A gift straight from the seven hells! What is the valor of a deathless warrior worth? Where is greatness in the exploits of one who shrinks from death? When the wolf time comes and my fallen brothers march into the final battle, where will I be? Sitting alone in a Fang, beside a fire that went out long ago?
Okay, you make a point.
The ages weigh heavily on my hands and heart, and one day I will be too tired and feeble to wake up and rush into the fray. What will they call me then? Ulfar, who slept through the battle? Ulfar, Mordekai's unwanted.
Do you believe the creature's curse hold any power?
Everything on Fenris has power. I have fought in 100 battles and suffered 100 injuries. Even wolves are not certain to survive such grievous maiming. But I always survived. And with each new victory, my thoughts took a darker turn. What if I truly am destined never to die with honor? What if my death will be foolish and inglorious? Each time I bury a brother, I secretly envy him.
Ulfar's mournful words land heavily like a cliff, rocks cleaving off into the sea. His face darkened until it resembles a grim idol hewn by a primitive people. You subject recruits to heinous trials. Why?
The path of Astartes leads into the fangs of horror. Any threat that can be endured by the mind is one that mortals can handle. But we are needed where the unthinkable begins to happen. Things that understanding cannot help to bear. Things that, once beheld, turn minds into bubbling, pulsating dread. An ordinary man who encounters this evil will go mad with despair. But we are incapable of feeling fear. It is simply not in our nature. Instead, we feel unbearable rage. We must select the neophytes who will look into the eyes of the unthinkable and roar. That is why we need our trials.
Okay, fair point.
Many times I have heard the clinking of Mordekai's fangs next to my ear. But I have never allowed him close enough to sink them into my rump.
I wish to know about your pack.
We call ourselves the Baleful Howl, and our sign is known to all wolves. We are old wolves who have seen much and endured much. This is the Great Black Mane Wolf, patron of slayers and totem of our great company, the Black Manes. All know that we are fearsome and hungry for a struggle of war, that we are cunning, deadly, and show no mercy. Speak our name, and thunder rolls.
Okay.
Even among the brothers, my pack are counted as the most rabid glory hunters. When we were young, we knew no taboos or limits to our pride. Years passed, and suddenly we are veterans, but our avaricious hunger for exploits is undimmed.
Giant space wolf word seems to radiate heat as if from a roaring fire in a winter night. Tell me about your past in the wolves.
A complete accounting of all my deeds would land like an avalanche upon you. I earned this mark of endurance when I slew a chieftain of an Eldari tribe. He dealt me a serious injury, and the wolf priest said I would not survive it. But it has not killed me yet. 2 years I lay in a delirium after that battle. When I awoke on Fenris, I set out for the wastes at once, and there I hunted a black-maned wolf and killed it with my bare hands. For that feat, I was granted the rank of Wolf Guard. That fearsome beast remains with me to this day, and I carry his furious spirit.
Okay.
And Jarl Ragnar carved this one when I beheaded a despicable sorcerer, the archdespot of Tyrannica II. Many brothers fell victim to him, and we do not sing that saga before mortals for the preservation of their minds. Alas, I failed to behold my own glorious deed. My eyes streamed with blood, and I hunted down the sorcerer by scent alone.
Okay, that's badass.
And of my glorious victories, there are many more. Besides, not for nothing did the Jarl grant me the accolade of Terminator.
He proudly displays the sigil on his chest, a stone seal in the shape of a wolf's head on top of a cross. Wait, so Ulfar is trained in wearing Terminator armor? Okay, that's badass. Like, my respect for him has just grew exponentially. Usually, like with the cross is the Crux Terminatus? Wait, no. The stone seal in the shape of a wolf's head on top of a cross. This one sounds like the Crux Terminatus. Basically, when they make a Terminator armor, one of the shoulder pads has a piece of the Emperor's armor melt into it. So yeah, it basically is like some say it's a superstation, where you know that the dude wearing the Terminator armor carries the Emperor with him into battle, and usually it's to show a sign of veterancy. So yeah, he's good. He's a veteran. I have noticed your penchant for poetry.
Before becoming an Astartes, I dreamed of becoming a skald, a keeper of stories. At feasts, I often sing of my brother's exploits. Thousands are stored in my memory. When I am near, wolves fight even more ferociously, for they know their deeds will be immortalized. One of the tech priests theorized that our songs contained hidden psychometric codes to increase courage. Maybe there is such a thing in other places, but on Fenris, our sagas are spun from memory, from respect, from pride. More than words stringing, a secret weaving. Magic in its marrow. Not to ear nor mind, speaks the saga. Its spell sounds deeper, strike, and the heart hearkens.
Your brother calls you Thunderlung?
That is my moniker, yes. My voice knows no fatigue, whether fighting or feasting. I can recite the glorious sagas and terrify foes with my battle cry for hours. Oh, this fine name was given to me by my loyal friends, Arnulf Bloodyaxe and Skadi Twice Thinker.
Tell me about your brothers.
The bonds between us were many. Arnulf was my sworn brother. It was he whom I faced down in a battle where the chooser of the valiant noticed me. Arnulf too was deemed worthy. We went from bitter foes to setting aside the enmity between our clans and becoming close friends. He gave me this blade to show that the past was forgotten. Quick to laugh was Arnulf, and fearsome in a fight. Almost as fearsome as me. Skadi Twice Thinker. Well, he was sent to us by the Allfather to see that we did not meet our deaths as young pups. He had enough thoughts in that head of his to make do for me and Arnulf both. It was Skadi who taught me to compose verses. The spirits prized his wisdom, and the runes hearkened to his voice. When the Xenos took me prisoner, Arnulf caught up with them and slew a score of them with his fine axe. And Skadi called down a storm so mighty that the abomination's jet bikes were whipped into the wind's furious currents like leaves. But even that was not enough to take them all. We were captured. Parvantius took Skadi first and turned his body into something unthinkable. Then he took Arnulf, and during the many hours of torture, my brother's only response to the freak was a disdainful laughter. And then he fell silent.
Wait, that's actually kind of sad. Wait, so Arnulf is a normal, like, tactical marine, and Skadi, well, from what I'm reading, he's either some type of wolf priest. Yeah, he's basically like a wolf priest, or at the very least a lower ranking wolf priest that was, you know, he was a wolf priest in training. Let's do this.
And their sagas will be sung in the Hall of the Immortals, sowing valor in the hearts of the young.
Thank you for your answer.
I enjoy telling stories.
Wait, is there more?
What do you want to know? I enjoy telling stories.
So now that you know where your brothers are hiding, what will you do?
Help you to deal with the enemies who besiege your home, and then head for the coordinates that Thorvald gave me. Well, I know, Edvater, that you are dauntless, and if I but say the word, you will join me in my seeking. But the place I will voyage to is a perilous one. Few can survive in it, and though duty leads me there, I do not want my debt to be paid with your blood.
Okay.
Fenris Hilda.
Alright, something, Agenta?
Greetings.
Oh, no. I want to talk to you about what you learned during the assault on Euphrates 2.
Of course. Do you remember the first days of the attack? When we captured one of the heretic commanders? He burned so brightly you could have seen him from anywhere on the battlefield, I'm sure. But what is most important is what he told us before his execution. The heretic was one of Conrad Voigtvir's closest henchmen, and he revealed, screaming through the pain, what I had wanted to know for so long. The markers of the route to Salus Prime. The world my heart calls to. The heretics of the Final Dawn tried all they could to stop us, but they failed.
Okay.
Gladly, there are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Yeah, is there any other order in the Gronos Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Okay.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent.
Okay, so I spoke to her, then what now? Wait for a gym to approach with news. Yeah, okay. Announcement? Nothing. Voidmaster, Voxmaster, nothing. You're lit?
Elantak? I trust your journeys were fruitful.
Nothing. Oh yeah, can I give him the... Nope. Let's see, Jay? Anything new?
Ah, Shireen. The burden of a trade representative of the Imperium. Oh.
Okay. Anybody else here? I believe not. Who else? Pascal?
The only sign of...
Okay, nothing. Bridge Officer, Abelard. Anything new?
Lord Captain?
Yep.
Lord...
Okay, whatever. Let's go get some things. Let's see. Trade for Drusians. Ooh, boy. Hymn of Vengeance. Sure. Staff of Righteous Pyre. Righteous Justice. Auto striking power swords. I did remember I got a bunch of soul pattern power swords, right? Okay, finally. Rank skill, yeah. Modified artificial armor. Okay. Alright. Now, what is it? No, this one? Not Vivos. This one. Do Virginium. The Norco bonus. Here. Palace of the Outcast. Palace of the Lost. Yeah. Thing here. Okay. I'm pretty much done, right? Yeah, I'm pretty much done. And, you know what? Let me upgrade everybody first. Okay, so let's do this for me. Let's do this for Jay. So let's do this on Heinrichs. Let's do this for Hecata, assuming I even use her. Okay, let's do this for Abelard. Okay, let's do this for Cassia. Let's do this for Pascal. Let's do this for Argenta. Let's do this for Ulfar. And let's do this for Yurlet. Okay. And I believe this is everything I have to do. So yeah.